Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another edition of VR news. Not our most loaded week, but you know what? I'm not going to speak anything to episode length until this is done, because
that's a different story.
Sometimes our most loaded episodes, we talk the most, and then sometimes our least populated ones, well, you know, as you might guess, we talk the least. So today's like a moderate amount, but fun stuff on the agenda.
Things happen, man.
Yeah, and usually I do start, but your first one is one that we both came in and we're like, we got to start the show with that.
Came in hot, man.
Hot and heavy. So I don't know if you want to kick
down
it off.
The door. Like, good news for everyone.
I was hyped.
Yeah, and it's cool. Beyond Frames posted it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's making its ways around. But if you didn't know, or you're not tied into social media, which I find hard to believe, Grimm officially announced, and there's, you know, some fine print in it. So Grimm is coming out by the end of winter, which a lot of people would assume, oh my God, it's going to come out by the end of the year.
But let's get technical with winter.
Winter starts December 21st, which means you have 10 days to release it before end of year. So if I were just being like, okay, let me really break it down, I would think it's going to come out after the new year.
Can I actually throw some sand into that? Because if I go to their store page,
it says winter of 2024.
On the release date, it says winter 2024.
That gives you 10 days. I don't personally believe it.
So that means it would have to come out like a couple days before Christmas.
I just don't. I can't.
A couple days after Christmas?
No way. I'm not buying it.
You have 10 days in 2024 if we're going to be technical about winter.
Yeah. No, if you go by the letter of the law.
Winter starts December 21st.
Correct.
This says, I didn't see that before we started talking.
Well, that's the thing, is like everything on social media does not represent specific.
Social media says winter.
Because then that means you're getting it between December 21st and the 31st before New Year's.
If their store page is accurate, maybe
I believe the people posting on social media more than the store page.
It's possible the store page is an error.
Well, just ask for a date. You know, like, hey, when's the release date?
Oh, man, though, when this game has other players in it, dude, if we're a month away from...
No way. I wouldn't put my money on it.
I get it. I don't really
I'll be stoked, and you're right. Yeah, if we're legit, okay, let's say a month away. Holy crap. But I'm shocked. But if I were going with my gut, I would say I would probably go as far as February.
Mm-hmm.
Because what are they going to do? Shadow drop it? You know, won't there be some... I mean, there's already some hype, but I would think just knowing the studio involved.
I'm trying to see where I first saw the post.
Oof, definitely made its ways on...
it was Grimm.
Yeah, and
coming this
IG
winter,
as well.
Coming this winter to a meta store near you.
Yeah, wish list now, which you can, and you should.
So this just comes down to, is the store page accurate with winter 2024, or is it coming winter 2020, like early 2025?
I would say it's accurate to the fact that winter ends in March.
Mm-hmm. So, that's your gut?
Yep. You got from December 21st to sometime mid-March, and we'll have Grimm.
I'm so hyped for this game to get out in the wild, though.
And someone did ask on our Discord if the PC VR version looks better than the standalone. And
yeah,
the answer
it does.
Is yes,
without a doubt. But the
won't even
standalone
try to lie to you.
But the standalone is
oh, dude, it's
very impressive.
Yeah. I posted on I think it might have been LinkedIn. I reposted the Grimm news, and I was like, dude, it's gonna win awards.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just don't know what to tell you.
Their art team has crushed it on the Quest, but without a doubt, it still is better visually on PC.
You want to know
VR,
which
like
one
you would
to get
expect
for the best? I'm fucking sure Spoonfed would probably agree to play it on PC.
I mean, to be honest, I play it a lot standalone.
Hell yeah.
Just for like, we're switching in between games. You know, we did like a round of something else.
I don't have a dedicated room to just, my shit. So my stuff is part of the living space that we reside in. So it's not, I can't always do the quick PC when I want.
But you don't just keep it on 24/7?
No, sir. No, mine will throw some heat too.
You know how you can shut off your computer from remote desktop or from virtual desktop? Too bad you can't turn it on from virtual desktop.
That'd be a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
But virtual desktops is shit, dude.
Yeah, but cool stuff that Grim, it's coming. We'll say this winter. Whatever that means, we're unclear on, right?
On my own notes, I wrote most likely 2025.
But we didn't see that store page listing before, though.
No. I was just going based on like what I believe to be true based on what I read. The store page doesn't sway my opinion at all.
I think we just don't want to get our hopes up either that we're going to have other players to help in a month.
Man, my days of going into Grim and just singing a song, doing my thing is going to disappear quick.
Well, you
and
know.
It's going to be kind of sad in a way because I'm like, oh, man.
Well, we've talked about this before. You know that the player that comes in there is going to be proficient. You know, the former Rust players
or current Rust players
that already know what to do and are going to 1-to-1 carry over game experience and knowledge on day one and kill us, despite the fact that it's their first day and we've been playing it for months. You know, I think somebody with 1,000 hours in Rust is going to instantly be better at the game than me and you are.
Yeah.
Despite how hard we tried. I mean, people can go back on the podcast and listen to it.
I had to ask some pretty mundane questions.
We were sitting there
to learn. So, yeah, no, people are coming in with an edge.
Mm-hmm. We were sitting there.
The new player.
Remember when we were like, it's our goal to get ahead to be able to, you know, cause some damage on day one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's happening.
No, I got a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
I got a reality check.
You got humbled.
I got a reality check when we built a pretty decent base and I was still putting on the roof and those dudes came over and threw the ladder on it and climbed up and poked their head in and fucking shot you in the face.
And then just let you go.
And then let me live. They gave me shit too.
That was the time I tried to be like, hey, I killed you.
Too. They were like, I'm one of the developers. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, I got killed, so I wasn't talking too much shit after that. I was gone. I was in a different part of the map after that.
Grim's the shit, dude.
Yeah.
I might even go as far as to even, I think we should dedicate, once it gets like official, like, oh, dude, it's coming out this date, maybe give a little basic tips and tricks.
Oh, it's got to. You got to.
Even though Spoonfed seems to have lightened up to tutorials and helping you learn, giving you things that I was shocked would be available, like a map. You know, I mean, truth be told, though, you don't need a map. It just obviously.
Any game you don't need a map if you learn it enough.
No, but there is ways to follow navigation, which I'll save until everything comes out and all that stuff. But even without the map, and it won't matter because you'll always have the map, right? But there is a way to navigate the size of that map with.
I think most games are like that have maps, which is you just never need to.
I never had to learn without one.
Correct.
Yeah, like now be giving you Grand Theft Auto with no map. Be going like, go here, like, huh? Anywho,
yeah, I think it's just too good to be true. I don't think my brain's accepting that we're gonna have a server full of other people in there to interact with and kill.
Not to mention the roadmap for Grim once Grim comes out. That's a whole different conversation.
Well, I think when Spoon sees servers full of people, it's going to motivate him on a whole new level too. And that's crazy to say because we often talk about like, dude, the guy, all he does is work on Grim. But I think he's going to have so much fun just watching player interactions in his little playground. It's just going to motivate him even more.
Well, you know, what is it, 10 years he wants to continue?
That's what I'm saying.
It's not even, like I said, it's not even funny.
So I think when those servers are full, it's going to light a whole new fire. And that's crazy to say for a man that's already like extremely motivated on it.
Living in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a workaholic.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the videos of player interactions and people just having fun in the playground that is Grim.
Well, and here's what's cool too, man, is just like with Ghost of Tabor, how many new creators are there because of Ghost of Tabor?
Yep.
Like literally, like that was their jam. They still play it to this day. The same thing's going to happen with Grim. And like people who have never had a channel or nothing. It's like this is going to be their it's going to be their source of livelihood, believe it or not.
there's people that bought headsets because they heard that there was a Tarkov-like game in VR for Ghost of Tabor. There's going to be people that buy headsets because they hear that there's a Rust in VR.
You know what I think they should do for release?
What's that?
As a studio, not to be spending Scott's money because it's not my job, but if they did a wrap for a Quest 3, like maybe, 3 or 4 of them with the Grim layout on it as like an exclusive Grim headset, dude, how cool of a fucking thing would that be?
Mm-hmm.
Just with the vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of your Quest 2 that's all vinyl. I'm like, that would be pretty cool with a Grim wrap.
So here's the thing: if Grim does come out this year, too,
yes,
even more complication to Game of the Year. Behemoth on its way. Dude.
I would selfishly wish they don't come out till 25 just so they can contend for next year's, because I haven't played Behemoth. I feel like it might be a sleeper.
Yeah,
that
we talked about that last week.
Yeah, everyone knows it's good, but there's a difference between good and great.
You think it's going to be one of the best games of the year, if not the best. That's what I keep hearing from you off air. You're like, I am hyped for this for no reason.
Everyone's screaming Batman for Game of the Year. And that's, all things considered, that's possible. So if they can hold off to 25 and then lock themselves in for, but then you also have the problem that Combat Waffle is going to throw us Silent North in 25.
At some point.
Right?
We haven't heard anything about that with release date.
You think it's coming 26?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So
if I had to guess, maybe that's why they want Grim out. Maybe that's why it says winter 2024. So that way they have a 2024 release and a 2025 release.
They're going to drop.
Or that store page is wrong.
I think the store page is wrong. I got it. I got my heart of hearts. No, because I want to see some pre-hype.
Okay.
Some really good shit. More than just, from now till the end of next month.
Here's the thing, though. Okay,
yes.
Grim has improved so much since the first time we've played. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct. I agree.
10 million%.
However, from the first time I've played, I thought that the game could come out.
I said it the first time I played it.
So
to me, it was ready. It's like, I
so why is it got to wait till 2025? If you know what I'm saying?
Because I won't. I even admitted on the show that I knew my place on the food chain because I went into it with the attitude of this shit's ready. Put a bow on it. Let's get it shipped. And then some changes were made, and I was like, oh, well, this is cool. And then more shit came. And fucking rocket launcher came. And I'm like, I know nothing of the scale and magnitude that this really needs to be. So for that, I've been keeping my pie hole shut.
Well, I say put it out to the wild. Let's start to fill those servers.
I do feel more than ever it's ready, but I still look at the updates that Spoonfed posts. And it's like, holy gee Louise.
And then he'll have servers of 60 people to...
You're not having my coffee.
Yeah, Reggie just almost went for your coffee.
He tried. He stuck
yeah,
his
I saw him starting to sniff it. We're well.
It's happened, man.
We're well equipped to look out for this these days after last instance of him doing
Caffeinated Reggie is not always a good thing. Yeah. So, okay. So wish list it though. That you can do today.
I mean, dude, that's a must buy. If you're somebody that likes survival games,
well, the fact that you can
anything,
you can wish list it to get it as soon as that's perfect because you're going to want to be on that bandwagon. I promise you. Don't wait 6 months.
Let everybody else get experienced in it. I am so curious to see the community in it. If it's
it's going to be
super
violent.
aggro.
It's going to be vulgar.
Are there going to be helpers in there? Are there going to be people that get a kick out of going in and doing some help?
No. There are no good Samaritans in Rust unless they're clipping footage.
Yeah, let's see.
Get what I'm saying?
It's going to be gnarly times out there, but I'm excited. Hopefully coming soon.
And if there's ever the ability to build trap houses and shit,
it's over.
Get the hell out, man.
Yeah.
Or the ability to hostage someone. Not even funny.
So we spent a lot of time on that. Yeah. Just we're hyped for it though. That's huge news to us. Well, Grim.
It's news. It's fresh.
Grim coming this winter. Whatever this winter exactly means.
Oh, I know.
Let's see.
Grim Claws. Right?
But I'm so excited for this one. Coming soon this winter. And then in other news, the Light Brigade, one of the best roguelites I think that's come out. And I hate that I keep liking roguelites.
Yeah,
Because
I'm with you.
I say this every time I talk about roguelites, even just look at this year.
Go back to some of our earliest episodes.
Yep.
Like, oh man, I hate. It's not really my favorite.
I like
genre.
my progression to be saved, and then all of a sudden, it started with Mother Gunship Forge. That was probably the first one that started to really
Well,
get
that's
us.
the king of all. To me, that's the king of all roguelites.
Well, and then Crumbling came out this year after I said I was done with them. Then Underdogs. Last year we had the Light Brigade. Great games. So as much as I talk shit on the genre, I seem to love them. I don't know why. But the Light Brigade, they just added a new gunslinger class to their game. They call it the Saboteur class.
Saboteur.
Brings an SW500 revolver and is also equipped with quote unquote a timepiece that cloaks and deploys a dead ringer for stealthy escapes alongside the Saboteur. They also introduce a quote unquote memorial grounds, which is a new world in the game. Like their worlds are, it's new, procedurally generated. So,
it's not your backyard. That is for sure.
The procedurally generated makes, the runs unique. So it's not like you run the map once and now the layout. Yeah, correct. But it's a new scenery and variety of things in it. They're called the memorial grounds. And it's across a quote unquote war-torn military crypt. So.
Is there such a thing? Whole crypt full of military shit? Military people?
Military graves? There's got to be merit to
Well, there's grave sites, but I've never seen a full crypt. Just stuff them in there. Nothing good's going to come of that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Even in today's real world.
They say
it's going to be hard.
They describe it as a burial site for honored soldiers reduced to rubble. The memorial grounds were overrun by war, the dignity of fallen, forgotten in the destruction.
All right. Well, I know it's a good game. Yeah. And I don't think of Underdogs as a roguelite. And I don't think of Mother Gunship Forge is one.
Do you only say that because you like them?
One. Yes. But psychologically, I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just go, wow, that's a great freaking game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even.
Underdogs, one of the best. Hey, we got to throw shade too because we mentioned it last week, and now Underdogs is killing it, talking shit on Twitter about it too, and I agree.
Yeah, man. Because you take my name on for your boxing game.
Last week we talked about bare knuckle boxing. What was it? VRSO. Bare knuckle boxing switching over to underdog boxing, which you said it right away. Underdogs. Come on, that's mech fighting. You even said, come on, you even punch in the game. Yeah. Like you're not even like a distant thing, So I saw on Twitter Underdogs tweeting at them being like, yo, what's up with this? You couldn't have picked another name?
Right.
And then they're, a couple days later, they're like still waiting on a response,
Oh, they're getting no response. There'll be no response. But I actually think, though, in my heart of hearts, they should change the name again. It
kind of hijacks some SEO, right? You search Underdog now, and like you're Underdog VR, like you're kind of
even psychologically, it's like you say when we saw the new name, the first thing my brain went to was Underdogs
because they got an iconic name. They've established themselves. There's no other name that you could have done for a boxing game than Underdog.
We're gonna call it a walkabout fist fighting.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not gonna think.
I'm just gonna refer to it. And as the unnamed boxing game.
And this is nothing.
Because I'll talk about the game. I want to try it.
This is not, that's what I was going to say. This is nothing to do with my opinion on the game. I just think
I just don't like the name.
Marketing and I get why they would drop the bare knuckle boxing
and VRSO
in their title.
I'm not calling anything VRSO. What's that? Verso? What's going on?
Well, that's very, ironically, that's very similar to the rental agency that you can rent real estate from when you go on vacation. It's so similar.
So I don't blame them for changing the name. I agree on that.
Maybe that's just their thing.
But Underdog Boxing? I saw somebody, oh man, I wish I could give them credit. I wish I remember who it was, but they're like, it's not too late for them to change it to Thrill of the Underdog Boxing.
We're going to call our network KNN. Makes the same sound, right? Come on, man.
As hyped as I am for the game, don't like the name.
Nope, I think it was a bad choice. Bad
Change
direction.
it again. It's not too late.
No, you can change it once a week if you really want. That could be their thing. Like, haha.
Otherwise, it'll be that other boxing game that's not Thrill of the Fight.
That's a great name. Not Thrill of the Fight. I wouldn't even be upset that they used, or if they said not Underdogs, then it makes more sense.
Do you think there's any chance it was an unintentional thing that they didn't know the name of Underdogs?
I think they knew Underdogs. They just didn't put it together.
Yeah, you don't think it was intentional?
No, I don't think they're like, hey, it'll play off of that Underdogs mech game with their own world, and it doesn't fit in, and there's not even like a potential. Because I was even thinking like, oh shit, here's an opportunity for two studios to come together with some sort of collaboration of a reason why and characters and involvement. And I'm like, can't really do it
because Underdog boxing, and it's like a realistic boxing sim. It looks like.
So I couldn't even create the in between world where they would both benefit from it. Because your dude's fighting in a mech. He's not out there scrapping.
I am pretty hyped to go in there and scrap with you in bare knuckle.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I really hope that in the bare knuckle mode, I understand if not in the default gloves mode, but I hope in the bare knuckle mode they really lean into like gnarly cuts and bruising and visual effects like that.
Dude, 100%.
That's the point of bare knuckle. That's why I want a bare knuckle.
We'll see. But they seem to have really phased off that whole bare knuckle. It's like a game mode.
Because you know what I'll do? I'll just sit there with my hands down and like, dude, just pop me with a jab. Let's see how bruised up my guy can get. You know what I mean? Like we can have fun.
You used to do that in flat screen.
Hell yeah, I used to do it all the time. Like just sit there and I just want to see. You know,
how far can I push?
I want to see my guys freaking eyeballs.
How fat can that face get?
Look like bumblebees. You know, just freaking out there. Hematomas on my face.
I'm with you.
Cuts everywhere.
Can I be beat to death? Can you beat me to death in this game? You're going to stand there and let someone beat you to death?
Which I kind of feel, I mean, I understand why they went the direction they did. With switching it to a full boxing game, it does open yourself up to a wider audience. I've thought about it.
I think in boxing games in VR, every time your character gets punched in the head, it should disorient you like it does in real life if you get fucking punched in the head.
Well, Thrill the Fight does a good job with the flash black.
Yeah.
Or like the flashlight.
Take a little sharp shot.
Yeah, you get like a ding, you know what I mean? Like they do a good job with that. You shouldn't just be able to sit there and just do, you know? There's got to be some sort of visual effect.
How cool would it be if you like were really honing in on the body shots on a player? And because of like the reality of taking body shots, your hands will get progressive. Like you can raise your hands to the ceiling, but they're just like
a max height on them.
Yeah, they're just going to, and you eat another couple more. And because that's reality, right? I don't think we're far away from that.
No. I'm excited for that one, though. It wasn't even on the last time. We're talking about the Light Brigade, but Underdog Boxing, I am excited for. Just change the name.
You pick another name, man. No more underdogs for you.
So, the Light Brigade with their new...
Brata, man. We don't know each other, man.
Their new Saboteur class. Like I said, new weapon, new map as well, too. So, exciting stuff. Speaking of exciting,
because we get to try it, really like Area 51-ish trying it too. That was weird.
And now it's out for other people to, and it's a fun game to play with.
Alchemy Labs got to sample that in Germany at Gamescom with the CEO, the head owl, head owl honcho. What do they call him? The CE owl, the CE owl. So, anyways, Dimensional Double Shift from Alchemy Labs reaches 200,000 installs. That's pretty freaking good for something that just came out, 2 weeks ago?
No, I think it came out right after Connect. I think it came out while we were at Connect. Because remember, we were talking with Andrew.
So, I mean, 200,000 installs. It is a free game, but...
Free right now.
Yeah.
In early access. I don't know if it'll stay free.
It's not like they're going to come back and like knock on your door and be like, yep.
You have to buy it or anything.
But you took that for free. Now we're charging.
But if it does come out later in full price, think of it. That's 200.
Why? I mean, dude,
or maybe it stays free forever.
I don't understand how people make money on free. I mean,
cosmetics, in-game
if
app
that was the
purchases.
case, wouldn't we be rolling in money? Theoretically?
No, because we don't have in-app purchases. It's very clear how these apps make money. It's no question to me. It makes total sense.
All right.
So they sell you stuff inside the app.
So you've installed
I hate it.
200,000. 200,000. I'd rather pay and still have the ability to buy skins and shit. I mean, dude, think back to Pop 1. We paid $30 for it, and we used to buy skins every month.
Yes, nothing in life is free.
No, but I just don't. Is the return on investment doing... Next time we talk to a game dev that does their stuff for free, I really want to hammer just break it down to me. So let's pretend you have 200,000 installs. What average percentage of player will buy stuff? Is it 5%, 10%?
Clearly, it can work for some games. Look at Gorilla
Maybe it's
Tag.
like 40%.
Look at Gorilla Tag. Look at Yeeps.
Dude.
They do it good.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Pop 1's free to play these days. Only in-app skins and
Well,
stuff.
Pop 1's free to play because of people like us who paid $30 for the game fucking 34 years ago and
So to me, the free to
spent
play is
hundreds of dollars on skins.
free to play is no mystery to me. It obviously works. It's clear what they do. They just push
Just
in-app
curious,
purchases all the time. To me, it's just not a business model I like being a consumer in. I don't like free to play.
Never thought I'd say that.
With a bunch of because nothing's free. They say free to play, but nothing's free.
You know why I don't like free to play? Because it's very phone appy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that screams phone app. Not even like Flash
pay
games.
us to play more.
Flash games are free.
Pay us for more gems and shit like that. Like
correct. And what's the fine line before we move in that direction?
Mhm.
That's something we talked about over.
I don't
over
like
2
it.
years ago.
I would rather pay for a game.
Yep.
And you even said it yourself, you can still sell me DLCs and skins from there.
Fuck yeah, but charge $4.99. Okay, so
If you give it for free,
let's be honest. We both played it. It's a fun friggin' game. It's meant to be played with a group.
Mhm.
Totally, playing it with 2 players is not going to be nearly as fun as playing it with. I think you can play 4 players. I could be wrong. It could be
Yep,
even
I'm
more.
pretty sure it's up to 4.
Yep. So you're playing with 4 of your friends. It's fun. It's a good time. It's a goofy time. $5 is not the end of the world for that.
No, you charge $5-10, boom, then they make some money too.
Well, if you're going to give it away for free, then why not $4.99?
Mm-hmm.
Why not $2.99? Right? I mean, 200,000 people by that's how my brain thinks, but maybe I don't understand. Maybe the free to play you make, I just don't see it, dude. I don't get it.
Well, Gorilla Tag's made bank.
I know. Well, they're kind of an anomaly.
Yep. I think Roblox, Rec Room, they all make good money. VR chat's free.
I'm old, I guess. Just don't see where, why can't you do both? Why can't you charge a little for the game and still do?
Okay, because then you would say, example, if the amount of players that are going to buy an in-app purchase is X%, then the more you increase the total amount of players in there, 2% of 100,000 is one number, 2% of 10 million is another number. So you would actually make more by making it free and getting an increase of total players in there if a specific percentage is always going to buy it. The in-app purchase. Does that make sense?
Well, right now, I guess they got the 200,000. So just again, I guess the real thing is, what is the data of?
The problem is if you make a free-to-play game and then you can't get a large player base in there,
You're doomed.
2%, whatever percentage it's going to buy in-app purchases of 2% of 0 is 0. You know what I mean? Like it's.
But with that,
nothing.
I thank Mighty Coconut for the way they handle their product.
Yes,
Although
that is the peak business
one
model
could
to me.
argue it is free. Technically, if you're paying for Quest Plus, because it's there, but the DLCs are not.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at least they've always, been reasonably priced, and their DLCs are unbelievably reasonably priced. But yeah, no. Someday, next developer that does a free, and they're in front of us, I'm asking.
And oh man, I need to get clarification about if they're gonna stay free to play forever, if that's just for early access.
I'm thinking dude, when you drive 200,000 people already installed it, now you're gonna try. I don't see them charging.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope people are buying those DLCs because it's a good freaking game. It's not like they didn't spend some time making.
Yeah, no, it was fun to kind of cook out, ask and such.
Yeah,
so.
but puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them I couldn't figure out either. I had to be coached. Like, just do this. And I had to play like, oh yeah, no, I know, I'm just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
No, but fun game.
Yeah.
Huge props to them. 200K is no
That's good.
small feat.
That's good.
So bhaptics, which we have both the Taxu S.
Love bhaptics.
We have both the Taxu X16 and the X40, and I'm glad we started with the X16.
I got the X40 is what I say now.
Yeah, that's all you use.
I own the X16, but it hangs up nicely on a hanger.
But by trying both, we're able to actually say like the X40 was a step up.
Dude, right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I put that thing on. I loved the length. Like it just, to me, it fits. I'm not thinking about it while I'm playing because of the length of it. I'm like, this was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, and I love my X40. It's so good. It enhances the experience so well. Like like we said, the X16 a little smaller. Kind of felt like a sports bra. You know what I mean? Like it was like,
you wear a lot of those.
Well, hey, don't worry about my Tuesday nights.
Check out my moobs.
But the X16 a little smaller, and like so we instantly were like, well, if you're bigger or anything, this thing is you're gonna definitely want the X40. And even myself, I hear there's 16 sensors, and then the other one has 40 haptic.
That's what
ones.
sold me. It could have been the same size.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
40.
man.
Well, obviously that's better than 16.
And then after we tried the X40, it was like, oh yeah, through the MetaQuest Creator Program, we got the X40
Yes,
for free through the MetaQuest Creator Program. Important to disclose to say, but I mean, dude, huge step up from the X16.
How awesome of a human being is the bhaptics rep that we spoke with?
Yeah, we've spoken to somebody from bhaptics in person. Just seen them at events a few times, and she's awesome,
dude.
She crushes it.
So like humble of a human being.
But the news today isn't.
They're great company, dude.
The news today isn't to hype up how much we've loved our X16 and our X40.
I do though.
Yeah, but bhaptics did announce their next line of products,
of course, right?
That replace the X40 and the X16. So their new one is called the Tac Suit Pro, which replaces the X40. It actually has fewer haptic vibrators. Instead of 40, it has 32, but it's $30 less. Perhaps they did some maybe they went back to the drawing board and were like, well,
we don't need 40.
These ones don't actually make a difference, whatever. So I'm sure that bhaptics is good at what they do. I'm sure there's reason behind it.
Yeah, they got a good reason.
And it also has 1.5 extra hours of battery life. So total of 13 and a half hours of full charge.
Maybe that's the trade-off.
Maybe it was like, look, those 8 don't make a big difference and the hour and a half extra do, who knows?
Although their battery life is pretty damn good, dude.
Well, 12 hours is the X40. Your headset doesn't last 12 hours. So it's like, if you it's easy to keep your shit charged,
bhaptics does not need to beat themselves up about battery life.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the X40 and the amount of times it's buzzing, you're right. You're going to lose your headset way before that.
And then the new Tac Suit Pro, that's, like I said, replacing the X40. It's going to have a physical dial on the front with a ring of colored LEDs. And then you can use that to control the intensity of the haptics right from the dial right there.
That's a cool...
Which to me makes me
kind of guy. So
to me, that makes me think that it's going to be able to go stronger than the last ones, right? If they let you control it like that.
Yeah,
I know that
I don't know if it'll be stronger.
I hope that's just the way my brain goes.
Unless
if I can lower it, I should be able to increase it extra.
Unless the 40, if hooked up to that dial, would run much stronger.
Yeah, I'm curious
and
about
they're like, well, we can't do that ourselves and turn it to the consumer, but we can let the consumer do it to themselves.
And you can also toggle.
Possible.
You can also toggle the haptics on and off with a press,
dude,
on the dial. So if you're like, oh, I don't like the haptics here, just turn it off. Boom.
You know my biggest beef with bhaptics?
What?
They keep coming out with better shit.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about before. I want the full body setup eventually. Just slowly pick them up.
Suit.
Well, they also did announce their new tack sleeve as well too. New armbands. For $199.
Very intrigued.
Oh, I should say too that the Tac Suit Air as well is what's replacing the X16. So that's
a lighter one.
Yep,
lighter and thinner.
They pretty much just came out with a cheaper X16. It still has 16 sensors on it, just like the X16 did. Basically, it's just $250 instead of $330. So that's a pretty good savings on it. All the specs are the same.
Yeah,
they literally just came out with a cheaper model. So that's cool. But then they also did the tax sleeve for $199.
And what's the new one going to cost?
The Pro? The Pro's $500. Then the tax suit Air is $330. And then the tax sleeve is $199. And the tax sleeve is 3 motors per arm, 40% lighter than their last sleeves. And they say, quote unquote, optimized for powerful feedback. But I mean,
people want that.
All of bhaptic stuff is optimized for powerful feedback,
They're crushing it.
The sleeves would be good, especially for a boxing game where it's locking.
So if you want the new suit full setup, it's going to cost you $500.
Well, they have legs too. They have head ones. They got hands.
How come we don't own one of everything?
We got to just slowly pick them up, man.
Jesus, dude.
They do such a good job.
If they send one to my door, I'll probably never shut up about it. They'll get their money's worth out of me. I promise.
No,
it won't be a one and done. No, I
For any shooter, I love that X40.
But they're crazy, dude, because they pump out new product fast.
Well, no, I feel like the X40's been out for a while, but they come out with like you said, different.
Again, no, it's like, but they're their own. I mean, there's other competition out there, but to me, they're
consumer ones. They're the
ones
leader.
That they get the name recognition.
So yeah, they have vests, sleeves, feet, gloves, visor. Ooh, the visor's on sale right now.
How much is the visor right now?
On sale from $149 down to $129. That's not bad.
Well, dude, and we're also coming into the holidays. Love how they got Ghost at the Boar right there.
Yep, Dungeons of Eternity is such a good one as well too.
Just banging your swords together.
And look at the colors on the Air.
Pretty simple.
The new Taxu Air. For
You know what,
dude? $250 for a
here's the
haptic
thing.
vest.
Here's the thing, and I'm not, again, neon green, purple, pink, whatever dials to control what it looks like. I'm in my VR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to enjoy what it looks like.
Well, can I complicate you
What?
even more? So they do a FPS bundle, they call it, which comes with the new Tac Suit Pro, which was $500, plus the Tac Sleeve, which would be $700, but you can get it for $600 instead, $100
Take
off.
$100 off.
Yeah, if you want to get the new vest and the new sleeves. Damn, man, that's actually a good deal. They call it the FPS bundle.
Well, here's my problem. I want the fucking Roto VR chair. Right? I'm tired of.
You want it so bad.
I want it.
You just saw Nick Sutrich from Android Central have it as well too, and you were like, "Damn it!"
It further went. You notice I was very quiet about it too. Like,
you want it so bad. You've yet to hear bad things, right?
I hear nothing but great things, and I keep getting it shoved in my face, and I don't have one. I rarely really do go out of my way to ask for shit. I really do.
You want a Roto chair so bad.
I want a Roto chair. And I know Tracy's not going to buy it for me. This is not happening. It's one of those conversation pieces where I sold it as it's just a computer chair. So space wise, we're good. I'll get rid of my current computer chair. Win-win. It's a little bigger, right?
Yeah, I like the way you sell things.
Yeah, but it's essentially it can also double as a computer chair. So I'm getting my money's worth in there. And in theory, right? I don't have to be in VR to use it, right? So if I'm playing on my flat screen, I could just wear the thing like a beanie cap or some shit and turn my head and it should turn, make it easier to join in conversation. But I have sold it just on the pretense that she's like, no, I am not going to contribute to you getting it. So,
dude, I want these haptic gloves. I'm sorry to change subject. I want these haptic gloves so bad.
I'm selfish, man. bhaptics is a name that I don't care what they make. They make finger gloves, and they're going to be freaking great.
So, are you saying 2025 is going to be your year of accessories?
I'd like it to be.
You want to get a bunch of haptic stuff and a Roto chair is your goal?
I'm going to send out emails. Sending out emails. No, because again, man, it's not like I don't hit up manufacturers and be like, hey,
it's too funny.
Send me this. It's like, no, man, that's not my shtick. You want to send it to me, send it. But there are occasions where I feel I must break this rule. In VR Roto Chair, I'm emailing somebody. I know you got to contact us on the website. I saw it.
All right, you want to take us to the next one, because your next one's another one that we actually got to try at Gamescom, just like Dimensional Double Shift.
Yeah, Dimensional Double Shift was fun, dude. I hope they crush it. So Last Stand, which as you mentioned, we get to try, and I freaking
obviously you loved it. You lit me up, but that's another conversation.
Even if it's just how it worked out, and in fairness, there was the learning curve, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I got lit up. I just say that to bust balls and have some fun. It was so much fun to play, and it was competitive too.
Dude, how fast did our time play go by?
Mm-hmm.
Wicked quick.
When they were like, all right, it's been 45, whatever. It was like, what?
And I think you can see a little quick cameo of us in a clip or two they might have posted.
Mm-hmm.
So
if it's on their store page, which I feel bad. Again, it's in we talked about this before. It's in our Gamescom, nightly wrap up segment where we had our roadcast, our road mics, our travel mics, not as good as these good old, iconic Shure SM7Bs. And we were like half asleep. Probably a little buzzed.
Oh, we go back to Germany. We're bringing this full setup.
Yeah.
100%.
We've learned.
But Last Stand, because I'm going to deviate. I can feel it coming.
Mhm.
Last Stand is out now in early access on the MetaQuest for Ready. This price is so, we were just bitching about free stuff. Might as well be $7.99.
Sold.
Get the frick out, dude.
For a game that is like truly.
That's a minimally $9.99, right?
Mhm.
Minimally. It should probably be like $14.99. So you're going to scoop this for $7.99?
In early access as well, too.
Yeah.
From Soul Assembly, who's a developer I love. I mean, Drop
Yeah,
Dead
dude.
the Cabin.
They do great.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I mean, it's obviously a different game. I'm trying to think like, oh, which one's better?
And check
I
out
can't
this,
actually say which one's better.
check out this genre name. Would you ever think that you would hear this? Multi-location PvP shooter. You're playing a mixed
I don't
reality.
think I would hear it in 2024,
Mm-hmm.
but here we are.
Dude, you're fighting in multiple, like, I'm fighting in my home environment. You're fighting in yours. Like, that's crazy to me, right?
Oh, you know what I just thought of?
What?
That puts them in contention for
Mixed reality
next reality of the year.
When you want to talk about, like, we have hit the point,
Oh,
I've talked about this
Jesus.
before, where it's no longer mixed reality game modes. It used to be like your game was a VR game
Yeah.
and you put a mixed reality background or mixed reality pass through over your game. And there's still the diorama of whatever you were playing in VR, like Demio puts the board game in your room, which is awesome. That's actually how we play Demio. We played it last week. Both were watching fights while we were playing it. The undercard of the Tyson and
Before Netflix crashed.
yeah, we only hopped off of it because that co-main event was so good, and then we had to keep
I had to watch it on
resetting
my
the stream.
phone.
So again, that those type of games that you just put your game with a mixed reality background are great, but that's just mixed reality game mode. It's not like a mixed reality game.
It's not a mixed reality experience.
Now we
Full
are hitting the
experience.
point that you have games like Starship Home, Walltown Wonders, Spatial Ops, and Last Stand. Those are mixed reality games. They can only exist in mixed reality. You know what I mean? They fully utilize your environment, your room. Those are mixed reality games. And that's crazy that we're seeing that now.
Wait until people get their hands on Walltown Wonders.
Yeah.
About to be mind blown.
Just based off of what we tried at Gamescom.
Sure. I had a great time at Gamescom playing it. No, I really did, dude.
Mhm.
I knew instantly. That was one of the... I mean, I enjoyed every game we played, right? But there were some that I was like, I could easily kill an hour.
We
Easily.
left that
And
talking
wanted
about
to.
that in the
Yeah,
hotel room. Like, dude, we need that full freaking game.
I was so convinced we were going to walk away with keys, right? And when it didn't happen, I admittedly got set. Granted, we got Hubris on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Physical
actually,
copy.
yeah, we have a digital copy. Skiva,
Not a digital copy, a physical copy.
physical copy, yes.
Mhm.
A physical copy.
Skiva's a
of-
genius, too. I wish we did this. He got it signed.
Oh, I'm never not doing that ever again.
I was like, why didn't I do that?
He
The
cracked
developer
his-
was right
He
there.
cracked his right open, and I was like, what is he doing? Like, to me, I'm like, why are you going to open it? And then he takes out the jacket, and it's like, can you sign the inside? I'm like, genius.
Well, if you're mentioning Skiva, it's probably appropriate
Well
to just
played, Skiva.
to mention, Skiva, Alex VR.
Speaking of
Of-
Skiva.
Yeah, so Between Realities, we will be making a long-awaited appearance on Between Realities this week, this Wednesday. We had them on once before, and, there's been
Wow,
schedule.
it's been a while.
Yeah, and there's been schedule issues always with us to get on, but I guess they're coworkers of mine now, too. It's hard to say that it doesn't work with schedule.
It was cool when Skiva came up to our area.
Mhm.
What was it, 2 years ago?
Geez, probably could have been a year ago, could have been 2 years ago. Time has been so
Time
crazy.
doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, is that a year or 2 years ago? I don't know. It was
I don't remember.
somewhere
That was pretty cool, though.
somewhere between 12 months and 24 months. Somewhere in that time.
What was the little brewery we met at?
Redemption
Worcester?
Rock
Redemption
Brewery.
Rock.
That was one
They're
of the
worth
best.
a shout out.
Yeah, they were great. Hopefully he comes back
Wicked
up
good,
sometime. That
man.
was a fun time. We'd love to show him
I'm excited about. So it'll be this Wednesday.
Yep, live too. We don't do live too often.
Ooh, can't be trusted. That's why. These guys are crazy.
Worse, it's live and we're not the hosts.
Do they not know us?
that is two elements that we don't do often.
Dude.
Live, we're used to sometimes, hey, for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, we go off script and, we say some things that might need to get cut just for the love of the game,
It happens.
For the love of the game.
If it's funny.
You can't do that in
Someone else
in live.
Shit? No.
And we can always steer the other one away if we start to go down a bad path. You can't do that when you're not the host as easy,
No.
So we got to be on best behavior.
We'll be on someone else's leash.
Yeah.
We'll be good. I'll be good.
But this Wednesday, if you want some live action of Ruff Talk VR, we'll be on the Between Realities
It's a
podcast.
rarity when we do other people's shows.
So this will be fun. We won't be in the driver's seat. Let's see. We'll try to be on our best behavior.
I promise nothing. I just say these guys are crazy. Do you not know me?
Too
I'm
funny.
kidding.
I'm excited for this one. But Last Stand out now in early access. Full release coming down the line for $7.99. This is a 1v1 multi-location PvP shooter just off of, how many games can you call that? I think they might be the only one. They've created a new genre of.
Well, dude, there's a lot to pull off to make it happen.
And they
in all honesty, like,
well, do you remember?
Not everyone wants to go through that aggravation.
Do you remember their mixed reality mode in the cabin?
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely learned some stuff from that. That was one of the best use cases of mixed reality.
Well, someone's got to start writing the rules, because right now there are no real rules.
So they took from a game mode of a game and now defined a new category of genre and created a whole mixed reality experience. Huge props to Soul Assembly with Last Stand. Dude, how do you define these new mixed reality games? Like, what do you call Walltown Wonders?
We call it Walltown Wonders.
It's a wall management game? Like, what do you call it?
It's a management game that takes place on your walls.
Yeah, so what do you call it? It's like these things are, what do you call Starship Home? Like, what are they're new genres? Like, huge props to the developers that are investing in mixed reality like that.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, dude.
Again, not just a game mode with a pass-through overlay, like freaking full-blown mixed reality games. So we've been rambling. I saw this coming. Not a whole bunch to talk about, but a whole bunch to say. That's the way it goes. So as always, though, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. Unless there's anything else you wanted to say regarding Last Stand.
No, just I think for $7.99, the conversation needs to go no further.
Over, yeah.
It's like you're getting a great freaking game, dude.
Cutting edge.
We didn't even get. We just had a fraction of playtime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to go in there and whip randoms. You know what I'm saying?
Can try.
Well, or get whipped, but that's half the fun.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So the fact that if they're able to really pull this off to the scale that I trust they can, then yeah, I mean, dude, like you said, it's a new genre. There's nothing to really compare it to because nobody's doing this. And I just, when it's all said and done, I want to get them on to talk, because the technical shit they probably had to really go through to make it work. I can't.
I could see your brain going, shit, my mixed reality game of the year just got more complicated. When you were like,
it did.
I saw it hit you live in front of me.
But I know Walltown Wonder is going to come out of the gate just crushing it for using mixed reality, just based on, again, the smidge that I get to play.
Starship Home from Creature as well, too. It's like, this has been a good year for mixed reality.
Yeah.
Spatial Ops from Resolution Games.
Using it other than just I want to see what my cat's doing.
Yeah, which, again, there's nothing wrong with either. That's how we play Demio. You know, it's cool.
No, you're just not going to win a mixed reality award because you have a mixed reality setting.
It's hit that point.
Well, yeah. A year ago, if you just had the ability to do mixed reality, like, look, a poster.
I think our top two last year was Drop Dead the Cabin and Aspire's mixed reality mode, which were like the two games that really utilized mixed reality to a creative endeavor. Now we got a year
later.
Now we have a whole list.
Yep. So anyways, your Patreon.
So as always, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters, people who support us month after month. We got Asim, Amelia, Carson, Earth Witness, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, and Shoes. So thank you all for your continued support. We have some other Patreon supporters as well, too, as I probably should reference more. We have multiple tiers of Patreon support. And you know what? If you don't want your name shouted out, give me your cat's name, your dog's name, something like that. You know, we'll shout out whatever you want. Your favorite tree, you know, I can shout out willow trees, whatever you want to do. But, you know, we have some other Patreon tiers. You can find those in our show notes are episode description, some stuff for on-air shout-outs, access to an exclusive chat channel in our Discord server just for Patreon supporters. Check that out.
We should have a ridiculous tier. Just one over the top. Absolutely never going to happen.
Just for comical value. We can brainstorm off air.
$10,000. We come to your house and we'll do the podcast from your living room.
We'll brainstorm off air, but
something ridiculous. But
so,
doable.
Yeah. So you get access to an exclusive room in our Discord server. So that's pretty cool as well. Your name gets a little fancy color, but our Discord server is open to the public, open to everyone.
It's free.
Unless you fall into one of the bot traps that our great mod team has set up.
AI bots that we got bot traps.
No, our mod team crushes it between Amelia, King Canuck, Shoes. They do a great job. Shoes just put together a great giveaway with...
Dude. Fucking Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see that coming.
I've watched Shoes get so freaking good with that giveaway bot too, So huge props to our mod team. They crush it.
Batman, dude.
Huge thank you to all of the members of our Discord community, like people like T-Peasy, who we had on last week with Tech Tips.
With T-Peasy.
It seems like people like that as well too. Definitely have to do that again as well.
At least minimally monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Minimally.
I saw one dude comment it was actually his first time listening and that it was his favorite part. Well, look at that.
And I was saying off air, I go, look, there are people who literally can hold like a USB cord and go, I don't know what to fucking do with it.
Yeah.
You
can't assume, especially with standalone VR.
There are going to be people who are going to buy their parents this year headsets. I already know. It's like, dad's going to play Walkabout. Well, maybe dad wants to kick it up a notch and he's going to, need some of the most basic fucking out of the, dad or mom, who I'm not. But you get what I'm saying? It's
You're kind of giving out some big content creator juice to people. Don't be scared to do some take it out of the box tutorials. You know what I mean?
Literally,
press the power button.
Literally, and I'm just
now
saying
it's going to take you through the walkthrough. Now you got to open up your phone to get the device.
Not everybody is born with natural tech ability. I mean,
absolutely, I agree.
There's a reason why not everyone has a smartphone, other than just not wanting one.
Let's be real too. There's going to be people that get a Quest for themselves or somebody else. With the idea being well, look, you can take it out of the box and use it because the person I'm buying it for or myself is not tech savvy, but no wires, standalone. This will be easy.
It's going to be real crazy though. When some of these older folks that are going to be getting them start figuring out the technology, being they're going to be some gangster shit going on, dude.
Older doesn't mean tech incompetent either. You know what I mean?
No, just the learning. But, it can...
Remember when we had the guy that was getting the Lifetime Award for VR here to record the acceptance speech?
Last year.
You think that guy's tech incompetent,
Okay. Did the first ever remote VR ever?
Yeah.
It's projected.
Yeah. Do you think that guy's tech incompetent? So age doesn't mean necessarily. So I agree. Wait till people that they're new to VR, but they've experienced with tech and they just start.
They just need that direction. I don't understand.
Yeah. Too funny though. But
can I? One of the things I want to go over with them is let's talk realistic minimum PC specs. We have certain websites will say these are the minimums that you should have for your computer to handle virtual reality. But the reality is all those websites might vary a little, where I know for a fact TPZ can answer that question quite well.
And then there's also, if we're throwing out suggestions, we got to grab suggestions from our community as well, too. But one I'm curious of is I've always heard that less important than your Wi-Fi speed is your speed of your internal network, your local area network, so to say. So it's not always having the gigabyte internet being as important as
relays to better gaming.
The speed that your devices are communicating to each other without interference in your house. So I want to see if I can get more clarification on that, or if I'm just misunderstanding. So yeah, if you enjoy Tech Tips with TPZ and there's shit you want to hear, throw that in the comments. We'll make a little Google form.
He'll answer any technical problem.
He's an expert.
Yeah. Want to split an atom? We can do that too.
He's sitting there going, no. That's too funny. But I'm glad that was well received. And as a point to that, the Ruff Talk VR Discord community is freaking awesome. I would say the people that hang out there, engage in it. It's the place to be. A lot of VR discussion. Our mod team crushes it. The community is welcoming. Everybody's non-toxic. It's a good place to be.
Occasionally you get a wild Chadwick. sighting.
Come on, man. Chadwick's the man.
Inferno in there every single day.
NV always in the
yep.
live chat supporting Earth Witness, who we mentioned on the too many to name because I'll start to miss people. Those are just some off the top. Love the community there. And as always, like I said, you can find the link for the Discord and the Patreon in our show notes, our episode description there. So thank you again to all of our supporters. So back to the news. This is one I'm so excited for. Another one we tried at Gamescom. It's funny to see all the games that we tried at Gamescom start to come in, including, Arizona Sunshine Remake, which we've been having a blast with.
Dude, they honestly take...
Wasn't even my news to talk about right there, but...
They take the award for me for best overall voice acting.
Oh my goodness.
I can't think of any game that consistently has just on point humor, good timing, cheesy jokes.
Well, how about their ability to tell a story with one character?
Yeah.
Do narrative self-dialogue and character development like that and story progression like that. That's impressive. To just do it with one dude just talking shit, killing zombies,
but
hacking, slashing.
I'll give them always my
hot dog
props
physics
for their ability to have the best voice acting.
Yeah, and it's a super fun co-op game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's out. That's one that we tried at Gamescom. Then Metro's out. That's one we tried at Gamescom. Also our first time trying PSVR 2. But this other one, Ember Souls, which we tried there as well, had a blast with it. Very Prince of Persia-esque. I've seen that comparison a lot. And that was kind of my first impression when I first ever saw a trailer. And I think everybody's using that in description, not because they're copying each other, because it's like
the closest thing that you can.
It's the first thing your brain goes to, and there's no problem being influenced by things.
No, with some of the things you do is what makes. I don't think it's the overall whole game. It's just some of the aspects of what you do in the game.
Yeah, the parkour of it, the puzzles. It's hack and slash,
sliding down freaking. Flags.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
so they did a good job with it.
Fair enough.
So Virtual Age as well is the developers of Ember Souls, the game that we were referencing. Virtual Age also made Guardians Frontline and another game, Gladius, which was kind of like we have Blade and Sorcery on the Quest before Blade and Sorcery Nomad came out, but Gladius was still a really good game, and you can see some of the sword physics and sword fighting elements from Gladius in Ember Souls as well too.
Hey, it works though.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, if you already built the base of it, why not just...
Yeah, why would you, if you don't need to redo it.
Correct.
If it's working.
And, I mean, it's obviously not just a Gladius copy. There's so much more in this game. There's a story.
Dude, it's good.
Parkour. I had a lot of fun with it.
Really good.
We tried it our last day at Gamescom as well, too, Bit tight. It might have actually been the last game we tried, I think. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it was. Yeah.
And didn't take any enthusiasm away from it. Like, it was so freaking good.
Dude, I don't even think I mean, how many fucking cappuccinos do we drink every day? I don't think I yawned.
Full advantage of that coffee bar.
I didn't yawn at all during the day.
We'd walk up to that bar by the end. They'd be like, 2 cappuccinos? Like, yep.
Adrenaline rush after adrenaline rush after adrenaline rush. It was really over the top.
So much running around. Yeah, that was exciting. That was a fun time. I hope they do that Home of XR booth again next year. Fingers crossed. But anywho, Ember Souls is coming out this week, November 21st on the MetaQuest.
I think it's going to do quite well.
Oh, I think it's going to crush it. And it's going to be $25, $24.99. But you can pre-order it now on the MetaQuest for 16% off, which if you're like me and you go 16% off, that's $20.99 the pre-order brings you down to. You save about $4. But I mean, hey, it's worth it at $25 in my opinion, based off of what I tried at Gamescom.
$24.99?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$20.99.
I kind of in my head figured it would not be cheaper than $19.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of game. And even when we played it months ago, shit worked really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And they had us doing a lot of stuff in that game. It wasn't just like, oh, here's 5 minutes of, not that anybody did that, but somewhere a little more to the minute with time play, regardless of like, you're looking around and shit. But this one, it was a good amount of time.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. So it comes out this week. At the end of the episode, I'll pull up all the games coming out through the rest of November. Stacked city in November, as we keep talking about. So Ember Souls coming out November 21st. Full price, $24.99, or pre-order now on the MetaQuest for $20.99.
Jump on it, folks. It's fun. I mean, if it's your thing, but I wouldn't have known it was my thing until I played it.
Mm-hmm. According to the Upload VR article, it says the Steam release date remains unconfirmed. So it's coming out just on the MetaQuest, November 21st.
All right. Fair enough. Well, a game that I like, so now everyone can like it even more. But V-Rider SBK is taking their Superbike Racing to PSVR 2, which is, thank their fucking store, because people are going to absolutely go apeshit, and on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So that is huge news for them. I think it'll definitely help the PlayStation user base to have another option of fun games to play. It's probably going to look amazing on the PlayStation 2, I would imagine. But fun ass game. I thought of it too. I see the helmet over there.
Mm-hmm.
We have the beautiful V-Rider helmet. To me, they're the first real motorcycle game in VR that I've ever played that pulled it off really well. And again, I'll always remember the first time I leaned into that corner and heard that fucking increase of the wind going. And I'm like, oh shit. The only downside is they're going to a platform that has Gran Turismo.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but at least you can say, look, we're SBK motor or bike, or
yeah, they're motorcycles.
it's at least they're not
There's
another
a big
racing.
difference between even the mechanics of what you can get away with in a car in a racing game versus a motorcycle is night and day.
Maybe one of my sleepers of the year, I would say, of like best games that, not buried by other releases, but like
What, V-Rider?
yeah,
No.
it's like such a good game.
There's a few others that have been severely pummeled.
Like that one, it got a lot of attention. It's not that it didn't get the love it deserved.
Well, you know what it is too.
It's
is
like Underdogs. I feel like it still should be talked about more.
they have no competition.
Mm-hmm.
So with no competition, it's like, what can you really gauge?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you're gonna. Dude, bike games are tough. There's only a few that, even like the old Monster motocross games and shit. You look at like the later versions, they don't have the best reviews. It's kind of gone downhill, but they're the only ones doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think from a PlayStation standpoint, they're going to crush it.
Yeah, that's going to be a big title for PlayStation.
Steam, I don't know, because Steam is 12,000 fucking games.
Mm-hmm.
You can play whatever you want, but I've never played it.
Yeah, I think it's going to crush it on PSVR. I'm glad to see it launch there as well too, because huge fan of that series. And
we'll have to start pulling the top 10 PSVR games soon, just because
they
there's
put
been
out
so
that
many
stuff every month. So
yeah,
it's worth
just to know, because I see so many games going there now. It's like I'd like to see how they're comparing in the charts compared to the meta top 10. It'd be kind of cool. So be watching that one. But kudos to them taking it to the next level
on racing games as well too.
And that'll be next year, by the way. Disclaimer: next year.
So
sometime in 2025. But hey, you got shit coming.
On the talk of racing games as well too, and this one will kind of compete a little bit more with Gran Turismo because it's cars. Exo Cars has launched on Quest, Steam, PSVR 2, and Pico for $19.99. So it's gotten decent reception. I mean, I keep hearing it's pretty freaking good.
What's the current rating? We don't have one.
I'll get their store page up in a second and get you that answer. I will say Upload VR gave them a 4 out of 5 stars. That's not bad.
Yeah. This is one I kind of want.
Just came out November 14th. Right now it's got a 4.1 on the MetaQuest store with 59 store ratings.
What pull up a 1%. I'm just curious.
A 1 star?
A 1 star. Let's go. We're doing this live.
Sometimes
not even editing.
Sometimes we like to see what people.
I just want to know what the real complaint is, and I see there's a developer response.
Yep, they say that this bad review said the graphic, which granted, again, there's a lot of 5-star reviews. In fact, 59% of their
I just want to know what the 1 star.
Yep, said graphics are decent, but there's a lot of downsides. The handling is terrible and steering is maddening. There's no difference between all the surfaces. Might as well be on ice for all the tracks. The engine sound is weak.
Okay,
much like
what did the developer say?
They said, we're sorry to hear you didn't enjoy the game as much as others did. In terms of handling, have you tried adjusting steering sensitivity and steering angle in your settings to your liking? This is a very personal matter, which is why we have made it customizable. I think what they mean by personal matter is like, it's up to each individual.
I get it.
It's not like a personal attack but that might be how that's read.
We're showing up to your fucking house. Take this
what
fucking
you just
review
said
down now.
What you just said is personal, bro. No, they mean like it's up to your personal preference.
You're not going to know when it's coming, bro.
They said that we've also deliberately avoided making the car controls too arcade-like to ensure the experience requires skills and stays engaging in the long run.
Okay.
So they do take some time to get the hang of. As far as the car upgrades, they are coming in a content update scheduled for December 12th. We hope you will give the game another chance and update the review if you have a different experience.
Yeah, that won't happen.
Very reasonable response, though.
Yeah, no, I was just curious what the bitch was.
1-star review. Somebody goes, "Where is the Ukrainian flag for the username?" Not working. Stuck at a loading screen. Somebody said, "Game is awful. Where do I start?" Handling. Oversensitive. Steering locks up and forces you into a wall. No fluidity and impossible to master due to its lack of precision. It's like driving a shopping cart. Graphics, average. Car looks okay, but it's floating because it doesn't have shadows. All this stuff. But that's all they have for 1 star. Like 4 total 1 stars. One of them is about a flag. Then the rest are all 5 and 4 stars. Pretty much saying it's awesome. I've heard really good things. I think.
Yeah, I heard really good things. I just always like to see what the. And something not loading isn't necessarily the.
Sometimes that's an operating system thing.
It's not necessarily the developer's issue. But it's all good.
Somebody gave a 3-star saying root beer floaty controls. That was just funny wording.
Yes, go into settings and change your controls.
Well, the developer response was very appropriate, in my opinion, of being like,
hey, if it fixes the issue, then it's great.
Yeah,
if it's really like,
we got to go in. Well, now,
but I don't think I would have heard the things I've heard from the people I've heard it from if it was bad. So.
No, I this one kind of was like, generally everything I heard was positive regarding it as well too. So
I'm down.
Now I know to go in the settings though and play around.
Oh,
because it's a highly personal matter.
Their default settings might highly personal.
That made me laugh at that wording a bit.
I mean, it's true.
It's a personalized experience.
You should be able to come out of the gate with default settings that work.
Mm-hmm.
So if in fact you're being loaded in and the sensitivity for steering is naturally too high, then I would put that complaint on the developer. But
we don't know. We gotta go in and play.
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna hit those.
Stay tuned for next week.
Default settings. If I go smash it into shit, I won't 1-star you though.
I went smashing into a wall my first time I played V-Rider SBK, but I'm pretty sure that's because it was realistic. You know what I mean?
You leaned.
I went full speed accelerate. Boop. Did not have time to turn. I'm pretty sure that would have happened in real life too. So it's not always if you hit a wall, it's the game being bad. It might be that the game's good. No,
it
might be the player. But nonetheless, Exo Cars out now on multiple platforms. Definitely excited to check this one out.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. So in the world of a game that I hold true to my heart and I love, Beat Saber has dropped the Monster Cat mixtape.
Monster Cat Volume 2.
Volume 2, baby.
I think they said they dropped Volume 1 like 3-4 years ago or something like that.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 friggin' songs you're getting. I'm not going to list them all. Definitely going to eat up way too much time. But you're getting 12 songs for a reasonable $14.99.
Is that the name of the song or the artist that goes da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba?
That's the song, bro.
I like the name. That reminds me a lot of the show Bo 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 Bo.
Dabba 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 dabba.
Dabba dabba dabba. That's probably a fun freaking song to play without ever having heard it before.
I'm playing all of them.
Dabba 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 dabba.
Beat Saber doing what they do. Price is a little steeper than one might want to pay.
It's steeper than a Walkabout DLC.
At $14.99, but it is still, I mean, if you like Beat Saber, you're going to freaking buy it. I like Beat Saber, so guess what? I'm probably going to own it. It's just the way it is, man. And full disclosure, yes, I'll probably end up getting it through the creator program, correct? I don't do that with every Beat Saber drop. So I'm just full disclosure. There's
a lot of them.
I have an option to correct.
I think you bought the Britney Spears one, the last one, right?
I did.
I think you bought it next to me.
I paid for it. I didn't take advantage of the fact I could get it, but I love Beat Saber that much.
I think some of that is you don't want to wait. You just want it as soon as possible, especially for one like Britney Spears or something like that, one that you're hyped for.
Yeah, it's like I don't mind.
Monster Cat, I see what,
No.
I've never heard you talk about the Monster Tape. Monster Cat collection, how hyped, how is it? You know what I mean? So I get why you waited, but
Dude, let's be honest. Name a song on it. A song, okay, we got Pump, Teddy Killers,
yeah, it's not my genre of music that I know the artists
and
of.
Pegboard Nerds.
Whereas like,
I don't know what they've ever done.
You'll probably love them in Beat Saber playing it. It's just not an artist that you know.
I might go my whole life and watch every award show and nominee for lifetime achievements and never see Pegboard Nerds. Don't know. Maybe they're a thing. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's just one person sitting in an office in Beat Saber's headquarters just working out shit all day, and they just make up these. Who knows?
But nonetheless, though.
But $14.99, grab it, Beat Saber.
Always crushing it.
Oh, dude, 1,000,000%.
So,
Nothing but love for Beat Saber.
in a turnaround comeback story from XR Games,
Dun, 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 dun.
disclaimer, we haven't played yet. Starship Troopers Continuum came out on the MetaQuest for $19.99. PSVR coming November 25th, and has actually received a pretty good reception.
Yes.
I mean, look, you can't mess with two IPs bad back to back.
But we said that.
They just delayed Zombie Army.
We totally were like, you just know whatever you got to do.
And when you hear people talk about it, like, people love Starship Troopers as a movie.
I love the movies. I don't know how the game is.
It's got a 4.2 right now with 117.
I do not own the game.
4.2 with 117 total ratings right now. So it's floating. It's doing good, man. Doing better than Exo Cars, actually. Not by much, by 0.1. But, like, this is a hell of a comeback.
Well, this comes with a known name to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Exo Cars doesn't. It's like, hey, Exo Cars VR.
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever. It's like, this is fucking a movie, multiple movies.
Man, what a comeback story for XR Games coming off of last month's botched Hitman release.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Which and props to us, we never wrote them off for their future titles because, like, dude, things
go
are
with the flow.
complicated. That one was probably, something went wrong somewhere. Like, probably, maybe even higher up than them. If that makes sense.
Whoever is responsible for, I mean, if you're on top, you're ultimately the fuck up.
And there are, it's not like Starship Troopers has been a perfect game either. I did see people posting
I don't know.
pictures of the menus in there with typos during the campaign, like some of that.
Well, we've seen a lot of games do that.
Yeah.
That's just a translation issue more often than not.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. So there's been some minor complaints, but as a game, especially what I've seen praised the most is the co-op in it. Huge props to XR Games for doing a little bit of a comeback story there.
Yeah, it might be pretty good.
Let's see.
On the cool techie side of news, which there was not an abundance of this week.
No,
Really wasn't an abundance of anything this week, to be honest with you.
we're still having fun.
It was, we'll fucking talk tomorrow if we needed to. And there's nothing to talk about, but we would still easily talk. So in the world of cool meta shit, they were cool enough to show off their new AR operating system interface.
For the Orion glasses?
Orion. Yeah.
Ooh, we got to see those live in person. Didn't get to try them.
No, we talked to people who did try it, though.
Very
Who at
impressed.
first, yeah. What I liked is even at the stage it's at now, the guy was like, they're not as thick and big as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously it's got to perform while you're wearing a fucking computer.
Dude, I'm so hyped for that.
So, I mean, and I like that they're... Okay, so they talked about it at Connect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're showing some of how their operating system interfaces
That
work.
little slow drip.
Right? It's like
Keeping you
they
hyped.
don't have to say shit.
People just stopped talking about them.
You think it's digs to other companies without coming right out and digging
but
other companies?
the interface that they did show, though, I think they're just doing their own thing. They're so far ahead on these.
Dude, there's nobody doing that I know of.
Look how slick that interface looks too that they're showing off with it. The way all the menus look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much of this is
with
concept?
minimal having to move your hands too.
Dude, you know what's something that I want on the Quest so bad?
Crazy, dude.
Pico just got the ability to stream any Android phone to its headset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm an iPhone phone user. I get it would probably have to get something with Apple, who's not going to approve anything.
I see them cooperating with where you're going with this.
But I just wish I could. I wish I could mirror my phone to my headset. It would just be convenient. Boom! You hear a text. You fucking go in there. You type with your hand tracking.
Well, you could. It would just involve Meta allowing AirPlay to connect to the headset.
I don't think that's on Meta. I think that's an Apple thing. Has to approve.
I don't know. Because all you're doing is projecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a workaround, to be honest with you.
There's got to be a way. You can only do it with one specific type of Android phone on the Meta headset now as well, too. It's
But
like,
I
why
do
can't
agree
you
with
do
you.
it with any Android phone? Why can't you do it with your iPhone? It would be
So
such
I know why you can't with the iPhone.
Yeah, I know.
All that shit went out the window.
The second Apple was like, we're making a headset. You'll never see your iPhone on
And you're
on
working with Microsoft? Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here. We're not talking to you. You know, like you're double reason to not do business with.
I am still loving the cloud gaming on the Quest. I have an Xbox, basically,
I'm
with my
glad.
headset. There was that meme going around last week.
Took you a
of, this
while,
is
but
an
I'm
Xbox.
glad.
Well, I don't physically have an Xbox, but
Mhm.
I'm playing Xbox titles. There's that meme going around last week of this is a Xbox, because Microsoft was like, you know, hey, anything's an Xbox with cloud gaming on it. And it's true. It's like, dude, I have access to so many games so many Xbox games on my headset now. It's freaking awesome. But this Orion interface user UI does look really good. So cool stuff for Meta. Cool to see the slow drip of Orion stuff coming out. Makes you wonder when their first like consumer dev kit will be out. So
I did not receive one.
no.
Did you?
No.
Did you check the mail?
No.
A couple of Orions just sitting there. Do you think they're going to ship those out? No, that's going to be you fucking fly out here, handcuff this thing to your wrist. We don't need this left at some bar. Remember when that happened with the iPhone? That was hysterical, dude.
So this one's an interesting one because it's a sequel to a flat screen game, but the sequel is VR exclusive. So this is a developer that had their game in flat screen, was like, I'm going to make a sequel, and instead of it being, I'm bringing it only to VR. And it's called, funny name, Clone Drone in the Hyperdome. It's a sequel to Clone Drone in the Danger Zone, developed by, geez, if I'm pronouncing this right, Doborog. It's an upcoming roguelite where you fight you fight pixelated ass looking opponents in an endlessly looping tournament, they say. And it comes out on Quest and Steam on December 12th. You were blown away with the graphics too.
Yeah.
One of your favorite
8-bit shit.
I instantly heard it coming out of your mouth.
Yep.
You're not a fan of 8-bit.
No. 16-bit.
Lived it, did it, I get it. I don't mind it as much. But I think if I lived through your shoes, I would mind it as
Why are
much.
you taking me backwards? It's not like you're giving me an antique car, right? Something has fucking value. You're giving me something that I'm trying to forget.
Mhm.
Like, why are you doing this to me? But you know what? I mean, I see it all the time on flat screen. People love 8-bit shit.
Endlessly looping tournament sounds pretty fun. The flat screen,
And I'm not crapping on it because, of course, I'm going to try it. But
the flat screen version on their Steam page, it shows a trailer that almost looks like the character had a lightsaber.
looks like
You know?
better graphics.
Doesn't that look like lightsabers, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, if I get to use a freaking, I don't care
Well,
about
it's not. It's a sword that happens.
Sorry,
to
if
be-
they get to use a laser sword,
yeah,
whatever the copyright Disney proof.
lightsaber is definitely
Yes. If I get to use a laser blade, I'm going to be a
laser.
I don't know what you want me to call it.
registered trademark.
Let's see though. This is coming out next month, December 12th.
Yeah, man. I you know what? I mean, I don't crap on anyone's hard work because we say it all the time. My least favorite game might be someone's favorite. It doesn't look like my jam. I hope that when I try it, I like, oh man, this game is so much fucking fun. But it's single player. It's shitty ass graphics to me. It's not what I want to be doing in VR. But I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, let's see how the gameplay loop is, but I get it.
I'd be curious to see if I end up being like, dude, I fucking love this thing. But I'm not coming out of the gate with my strongest expectations. Kind of got like, reminds me of that, you know what it really reminds me of? Remember the rec room game that we used to play way back in the day? It was like we go through the dungeon and shit. Yeah, it looks like a little better version of that. Right? My line? When you really look at it, you're like, huh.
I cannot wait to hear in a month that this is your favorite game.
Can't stop playing it,
Yeah,
dude. Thank God they don't track my playtime like Steam, because I'd be embarrassed. No, I hope when I play it, I instantly am like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot better than and it could be because they're really dumbing down the graphics, so they should have a lot of extra processing power for cool shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that how it works? Just being an asshole. All right, so on good news for us, bad news for others. Skydance will not be releasing Behemoth on Steam at launch. It will be available, and you had written on the Meta Rift store for good reasoning, because the only way to get it is going to be basically going there.
Yeah, but Skydance never said the words Meta Rift store.
Yeah.
They said it's available through the MetaQuest link cable.
But common sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you're going to be able to play it for PC VR. And down the road, again, fine line details, they're going to release to other platforms, not specifically saying we'll be on Steam.
Other
So
PC, you said the same thing. You said off air, you're like,
how many?
Well, what else is there? So it's got
How
to be
many are
Steam.
there? But it'd be interesting if they just loop around and avoid Steam, but I don't know why they would.
Dare I say, I think we're going to start to see a little bit of a revival of the Rift store. And
There's
I have
no
a theory.
reason not to.
I have a theory of why too.
Yeah.
You cannot sell a cloud gaming service like Avalanche if you don't have a PC VR store.
No, we know
Like
the
those
name
things go hand in hand. Like,
Bet you the name will change.
oh, I don't think it'll be Avalanche when it's fully out. It'll be called MetaQuest Cloud Gaming or something like that. Quest Horizon Cloud Gaming or something. But if you don't have a PC VR store, where are you sending them? To Steam? Like you have to have the Rift store.
It's the gear up. It makes total sense.
So to me, that's what this is. If we're seeing Behemoth launch on there,
It might be so much easier to say, and we're coming to Steam on this, not say, I've never seen anything say
additional PC VR
it
platforms.
will come to additional PC platforms.
It almost makes you feel like that they have an exclusivity deal for PC VR, which would be so weird to sign unless they're going to be ramping up the Rift store.
It's a bold move.
And dude, if Meta Cloud
Which
Gaming,
means Skydance knows something we don't.
if cloud gaming becomes a thing on the Quest, you could make an argument as a studio to make a PC VR only game and it be financially profitable.
Why wouldn't cloud gaming become a thing?
They have the store page.
Look at what's happened in the time that Xbox unleashed their cloud
Yeah.
gaming to today.
It runs so good.
Yeah,
You can play Power World.
You talk better of Xbox cloud gaming than I do.
Well,
And I've had it.
because it's pretty freaking cool playing Power World.
I love it, man. I
And
get
the
the
screen the
messages
size of
from
my
you.
wall.
Oh shit, dude.
But
Crack me
anyway,
up, man.
Behemoth on the Rift store before Steam. That's kind of like
Yeah,
big news.
we're seeing something.
I think
happening.
that's bigger news than people are making it out to be. Because to me, that's whisper. That's like
in the big. Well, if the calm before the storm.
Yep.
If you can spot the storm.
so cool stuff.
Yeah.
Huge props there. So I only got a couple more pieces. I actually missed one on my list, and I'm glad that I've come around and found it. But anywho, Exercise Your Demons is launching December 12th on the MetaQuest store for $19.99. It's what looks like a mixed reality fitness training game that has you get kind of coached by demons into fitness. Interesting aesthetic choices. I'm curious how this one's actually going to play. I like the coaching element of it.
I think they just jacked Les Mills and then just put animated shit on their stuff.
I don't know.
I mean, you could, right? You could use the code.
It looks like a more playful version of like Supernatural or Les Mills. It's like more if you like. All right, I like
and you
those
get
games.
something for your action in it. I mean, you punch it and it hits the little trolls and stuff. So
Looks like it's very boxing heavy.
oh,
There's a story mode in
there's
it
so
as
much you
well
can
too.
do, right?
The story mode has you collect imp coins and soul bars to unlock new cosmetics, as well as offline leaderboards, stuff like that. And your trainers are named Ash and Zephyr, the personal trainers from hell. So $19.99 on the MetaQuest store. I'm curious, man. I've liked some of these fitness games in VR. So Body Combat's kind of the peak to me.
Mhm.
Les Mills, we don't even call
To
it.
me, they're the gold standard.
They just because they don't do. Yes, there's been DLCs, but there's no monthly
They
subscription.
give you more than enough to Dude, you could retire off of all the shit they give you for the price of the game.
You were even saying, like, when they put out DLCs, like, do you even need them? There's 30
No.
workouts in there, but
You
like,
really don't.
if you're somebody that's huge on it, then yeah, I could see the need for that. But yeah, Les Mills body combat's kind of the gold standard. This one looks like it's doing that same business model of pay $20 and here's the game versus pay us $10 a month. So I like that. I don't know. I'm excited to try this one. Comes out, like I said, December 12th.
Interesting.
So we'll wrap up these last ones quick, but this one grinds our gears, no pun intended. It's called Gears and Goo, coming from Resolution Games. And before I tell you what grinds our gears about it, I'll tell you everything we love about it. It looks so playfully fun. It's a VR tower defense game, which we always say there's not enough of. Love tower defense games. Always been one of my favorite genres. Coming from Resolution Games as well, too. Some of the best game developers. The graphics in it looks great. It's mixed reality. It looks so fun. But unfortunately, it is only coming to the Apple Vision Pro via the Apple Arcade, which is a monthly subscription service from Apple for $7.99 a month. Then you get access to this game. Which means like what? There's been 200K Vision Pro sold. Of those 200K, how many people do you think are Apple Arcade users?
They do better over on this side, but I can't tell Resolution Games what to do.
I know. It's just the second.
But they keep dangling this shit in front of my face.
Don't get me started.
They got to know most people don't own the Vision Pro. So what are you doing?
Don't get me started on Game Room.
Can we get, yeah, dude.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
All the classic card games and board games.
Right there. Get it tomorrow.
Get it on the Quest for us, baby. Same with this one. This one looks so Gears and Goo.
Not enough tower defense games on Quest.
I think
not enough at all.
I think you were telling me you saw the trailer before you saw the fine print, and you were so
I got
pumped.
So psyched. I'm like, oh shit, had me a tower defense. I don't care what comes out of your pie hole after that. And then I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna make me spend, $2,000 just to play a tower defense game? What are you doing?
That was a funny one.
I remember Resolution Games before Apple Vision Pro.
Mm-hmm.
They used to make games for the Quest.
Mm-hmm. Which they do have. They have other ones coming out.
I'm just
sure,
saying,
for the Quest,
man.
but
They're dangling all this shit.
I know.
That's
two of their best titles, I think. Without having played them, two of what looks like two of their best titles: Game Room and now this.
Sad.
Gears and Goo.
Saddened.
I want Gears and Goo.
Gears and Goo is like a normal Saturday night.
Grinds my gears, yo.
No, I love Resolution.
Love them.
They make great games. I'm just,
We say this because we can't play it.
I'm just hurt that
we can't play it.
Look, it's one of two things. It's real simple. Send me a Vision Pro, right? And I'll get to play these, but they have to send me one.
Mm-hmm.
Or come to Quest and we can all enjoy it.
Well, especially because
I won't lie. If I had a Vision Pro, I'd probably be singing a different. I'd be like, dude, this game is so fucking
Look, because you would have no. Your bitterness comes from the fact you can't play it.
Correct.
And it could run on the 3.
I feel like the horse with the carrot in front of it. You're just making me run to chase it.
2 great titles now.
I'll never catch the carrot. Yeah.
Game Room.
So that means what else are they going to drop on the Vision Pro?
Yeah, and then when Apple kills their freaking VR department and drops VR, what's going to happen to these games?
Those bring them over to Quest.
Hopefully. I hope it's a limited time exclusivity.
That's what I was saying.
And like in a year, we see them or something like that.
Give us this.
Gears and Goo, though. Good on them.
I'm sad.
Sad. I know. I do hope we eventually see it on the Quest. And all of this comes from the fact that, again, we just love the freaking way it looks and we want to play it so freaking bad.
Dude, I love Resolution Games.
Yeah.
I can't talk. I'm not talking shit about them.
They've
given me enough on the Quest to be occupied.
You want to play their games.
We were just playing Demio the other night.
Mm-hmm.
So
Spatial Ops came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, dude, Demio for when you're watching TV as well, too, is freaking awesome.
But
we were both able to watch the fight playing Demio.
Yeah, it's not like
freaking awesome. So, anywho, though, last piece of news real quick, because somehow I ended up with more, and I don't know how. But Trivia Crack, technically it's called Trivia Crack World. It's the VR adaptation of Trivia Crack. It's coming to the MetaQuest platform on a full release on November 28th. You can play solo or you can play multiplayer. And it's a VR, kind of like, I don't want to use the word Trivia Pursuit because that, it's its own game.
Copyright.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trivia game. And check this, it's $9.99 or you can pre-order it for 50% off at $4.99. And I like trivia games. Remember,
how many people can play?
So I couldn't find actually how many players can play, but Trivia Crack World is the exact name of the version that's on the phone and on the computers. And it looks like they're all crossplay with each other as well, too. So that's pretty cool. I need to look into how many players can play. I saw something online that said with up to 30 other people, but that sounds way too good to be true. But if you're playing with people on another device,
Jesus.
I don't know.
30
know.
people, dude?
That seems to be how their website
For a
is.
trivia game?
I don't know if that's the case, but they say they got thousands of questions. So let's see. That one looks pretty fun. I'll definitely check it out. $4.99 pre-order now, or full price at release of $9.99. So
It's a steal.
that's it now. Now I'm all out of news. We're all done. It's been a fun day. As always, like I like to say, if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, all that stuff. We got the Patreon, we got the Discord, whole bunch of fun stuff coming soon. Between Realities on Wednesday, a couple interviews coming soon, so stay tuned. Other than that, hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll check you out later this week. Ciao, ciao.